Hello, everybody. Welcome to Boss Battle Round 29. Close to being 2/3 of the way through on this. I'm very happy to be here. Again, with regards to anybody live, sorry about being late. Had to sort some things out, some unintended computer problems, basically. But nonetheless, I am here. And who else is with me? I see. Hello, Kat. And
Hello.
to be honest with you, Kat, today's a bit of a somber day to do with Boss Battle. Do you want to say why?
Well, those keeping track of numbers and have watched every episode should notice that a certain combatant is meeting their final matchup.
Yep. And we've had some really good matchups with this boss before, and this is the final one. So, without further ado, I'm going to be showing what the matchup is again. Goma versus Bongo Bongo. And again, this is Bongo Bongo's last fight in this, well, round robin series of matchups. So, yeah. I'll go into stats now and we'll talk about each boss. But our first boss is Goma. Health C, Power C, Intelligence A, Mobility A, Minions B, Venom B, Blind Sense B. I mean, I've been rooting for Goma for so long in this boss battle matchup, and well, in boss battle in general. She's got some good stats, but it hasn't followed through in quite a few boss battles. Has it, Kat?
Yeah, Goma's stats are very good, like two A's and one of the A's being in the provingly most important slot there
Yeah.
is. But Goma has had much difficulties due to opposition creating certain situations
Mm.
that very much go against Goma.
I mean, again, a lot of the opponents either just have fire straight out as an ability, or have an ability to boost their abilities, thus pipping them up, over the line here. Goma, is one of my favorites, so we'll see how she fights tonight. Boss 2, now, this is the sad thing. This is Bongo Bongo's last boss battle fight. And, well, you know what? I don't think I can do it, Kat. Do you want to take the floor with this?
Well, Bongo Bongo, the name that has to be said twice. uh, this is actually a very somber moment because, from what I have heard of people watching the series, Bongo Bongo has been the fan favorite so far.
Yes. I've definitely looked happy about, well, all the Bongo Bongo matchups. Believe it or not, the actual bongo has been used very creatively in these matchups. It hasn't just been a playing instrument, and even though Bongo Bongo is a Phantom Shadow Beast, I think lore-wise at this point, Bongo Bongo isn't actually evil. He just wants people to stop getting on his bongo and to stop invading his space. That's all Bongo Bongo wants, I think. And all the other bosses just seem to go onto his turf, so to speak, as well. I don't know if you have a different opinion on that, Kat, but uh,
Well, it very well could be viewed in that manner, but well, I don't play any a traditional instrument, let's just say. But I do know the feel that if somebody would touch an instrument of mine, I wouldn't be happy.
Sure. That's why Bongo Bongo isn't that happy either. So, stats wise, let's get into it. Health A, Power B, Intelligence B, Mobility B. Like, with regards to that, Bongo Bongo has won boss battles alone on those stats. Those are an insane, normal set of statistics, isn't it, Kat?
Yes, it is a very, very high combined score.
Yeah. But then we add on Dark Affinity A and Invisibility A. The Dark Affinity boosts Bongo Bongo stats even more, is how we sort of count on it. And that invisibility there, I mean, it makes Bongo Bongo very, very hard to notice where he is, honestly. With only a few bosses, although we may be seeing one tonight, with counters to it.
Yes, on average, those with dyslexia could just agree that invisibility and invincibility are the same when talking about Bongo Bongo. But yeah, there are those few opponents that can negate that factor of Bongo Bongo, but the rest of the stats, those are harder to go around.
Yeah. Okay. So, we get back to it. We've got our fight here. And so I'm just trying to think of all of this. We've got to think a few things. Basically, first thing is, I'd assume you'd be Bongo Bongo and I'd be Goma.
Yes.
Yes, good. The second thing is the world itself. I believe that Bongo Bongo effectively hovers because I've actually not really had to deal with this before. So therefore, it doesn't matter if there's vines about that. Bongo Bongo will be able to hover in place, all the time anyways, correct?
Yes.
So my idea of a good realm would be basically the top being the Great Deku Tree and the bottom being the Bongo. And the Shadow Temple. And they sort of both merge at the middle.
That is like the best for both, I would say.
Good. Okay, then. So, if that's the case, we've now got to decide who wins. Again, I'll say it back here, so that's fine. Let me see. So, but yeah. Let me see. That is my opinion. Again, how do I put this? My opinion is malleable, but I just don't see, I don't see enough a percentage there.
Yeah, I've been trying to think it throughout, and I only see it going that way.
Yep, good. Okay, so both the realms merge into one another, and both our bosses do notice the other one relatively quickly, but one boss understands what's going on quicker than the other. So, you have the floor, Cat. Well, you have
Well,
the ceiling, but oh, sorry, I have the ceiling. Whoops,
yeah, I was about to.
I forgot who I was. Who am I? But okay, so you know, Goma stares across, and tries to make something out, but that's only for half a second. Goma trusts that I have sensed this before. I have sensed it when there's no light around me, nothing else is happening around me. I have sensed beings like this before, but nothing on this magnitude is sort of like Goma's thought process on all of this. Again, it's all happening quite quickly. Um, so Goma would then go and have to, well, Goma would probably spawn minions to try to see the capabilities of Bongo Bongo and to try to find out any weaknesses. But honestly, I think considering everything that Bongo Bongo has, Goma would be a bit afraid. Like, seriously. So I leave it to you.
Well, Bongo Bongo would start like usual by playing a small solo on the bongos.
Okay. These minions that are spawned would go closer towards. The minions would have some form of blight sense as well, and there would be some form of communication between Goma and them, I would assume. So take that as you will as well. And these minions would go closer and closer towards Bongo Bongo. Probably the hands first because they're normally more visible than the other parts.
I would assume Bongo Bongo to notice that these minions are slowly creeping up towards.
Mm.
And Bongo Bongo would flick one of them into the bongos.
Okay. That one, of course, would be destroyed. In that case, the other one would start attacking. And Goma would just watch on, basically. I don't think Goma would do anything else here. So, leaving it to you.
Well, Bongo Bongo's response to being attacked by the rest of the minions would be pretty much as if you would find out that you have a tiny fruit fly on your hand and just smack it to a wall.
Okay. So, Goma would understand that there was more of a body to Bongo Bongo. I think Goma could figure that out considering her intelligence. Goma would also understand that fighting strength versus strength on Bongo Bongo would be effectively futile. So, this is the question. I think, honestly, at this case, Goma would know that she doesn't have enough information. And I understand this is funny to say, but Goma would try to hide from Bongo Bongo. I believe. Because,
yeah, I would totally see that being the thing.
yeah. So Goma would be hiding in the corner away from Bongo Bongo.
And meanwhile, I would see Bongo Bongo not finding Goma, but noticing that there is no more of those tiny minions going about, and playing another solo on the bongo.
Okay. Interesting. I think. I'm trying to think what Goma's options would be and what she would do. You know what? Since I'm pondering, I'll let Goma ponder for a bit, okay? I think Goma would take the same amount of time. What Goma would probably be thinking in this case would be some form of poison attack against Bongo Bongo. But the problem is that Goma doesn't know where the main body is, and therefore she couldn't realistically go off with an attack, also knowing that if she failed in such an attack, she would just be completely wiped. She might not know that exactly, but the feeling of uneasiness from that, from the dark affinity that Bongo Bongo has, I think that would be enough that Goma would consider that she would have to do something big against Bongo Bongo, or else be completely destroyed. So, yeah, basically past 10.
Well, at this point, I would see Bongo Bongo getting a tad bored. Bongo Bongo knows that there is still something out there. I don't think Bongo Bongo had like a actual true visual on Goma, but would know that something is still there, and would slowly start to tap on walls and seeing would more of the minions pop out or something.
Okay. This would disturb Goma. She would understand that she would soon have to fall from these vines. So this would force some form of confrontation. Goma would be technically Goma would be sensing the whole body of Bongo Bongo, but wouldn't understand it fully. Again, I don't count her ability as S tier. If it was S tier, she could see the full body. Well, not see, but you know what I mean. Be able to fathom the whole body of Bongo Bongo. I don't believe that Goma will be able to do that. Therefore, I think Goma would would move close above to one of Bongo Bongo's hands. Is how I put it. That's Goma's action. And if you want to ever test to see whether Goma falls, you can. But I'd say Goma has quite a high sort of mobility, so therefore would be able to stay on her feet. Considering these are, light to medium taps.
Yes. And Goma is very stealthy as well, so I would see Bongo Bongo just being bored and just smacking around to see if he finds something, would not notice Goma.
Yeah.
Doing this action.
If that's the case, and again, we'll debate after it happens, but what Goma would try to do is to jump on one of Bongo Bongo's hands and deliver poison to the hand. Well, did I call it poison or venom? I think I might have called it venom, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
So that's what Goma would do. I believe, considering the element of surprise and stats, I'd like to call that successful. But of course, you have an action considering that, and you would know this, of course.
Yeah. I would see that Goma would land on the hand and would bite it. But, well, Bongo Bongo is a phantom.
Mm.
And now there is a spider on his hand.
Yes.
Back.
So Bongo Bongo would try to whack Goma. I think at this point, I mean, it's a shame because I don't want to say it. I want this stream to go on forever. Well, this video to go on forever, but I think we have to call it, Cat. Yeah.
Yep.
In that one move, Bongo Bongo is our winner. And it's just that health, that power, the decent intelligence is good. Well, again, it was everything. We didn't even have to worry too much about the dark affinity and invisibility. Bongo Bongo could have tanked it if Goma would have gone for Bongo Bongo's, body, basically, rather than the hands. I mean, what can you say? Cat?
Yeah, like, I don't know which is more disappointed. me that this is the final Bongo Bongo fight, and that this is how quickly it ends, or Bongo Bongo himself for, well, losing his toy by being forced to smack it because his hand got bitten.
Yeah. And again, to clarify on the sort of level that this is for Bongo Bongo, I mean, it might be slow acting and it might have eventually affected Bongo Bongo, but considering Goma is out of the fight, I believe with that health A, Bongo Bongo would be able to recover, perfectly from it. In this case, I would have counted something like this to be similar to probably, well, in all fairness, I know some spiders can really damage people, but, a normal spider, really. I don't know the variants, but you know what I mean. The type that you normally see in people's houses just biting a person's hand. Like it
Yeah,
was, yeah, you can go.
yeah, I would say that like the bite itself would be very, very minor, not too much, and the poison would be a strong and potent one, like in the long term. But the opposition is a phantom, a
Yes.
spirit beast.
Yeah, I don't know specifically how we're counting Bongo being a phantom because for me, I was saying at the very least that health A means that Bongo Bongo could tank it, but being a phantom as well, I'm sure that Bongo Bongo would have some immunity because it shouldn't really affect phantoms, really. That is
Yeah,
true.
I would say that even in the best circumstances, Gomez venom would not affect Bongo Bongo unless it would be inserted directly into the eye.
Yeah. Mm, that would be a possibility. But yeah. Well, I'll leave us with this on Bongo Bongo because, you know, I think it's worth saying. Uh, basically, I'll say a few things and then you can say a few things, Kat, because this is actually a bit emotional for me. But yeah, for all of Bongo Bongo's matches, Bongo Bongo has seemed like, for me, my favorite in this, and Bongo Bongo wasn't my favorite to begin with. This is the first thing I'd say. And second of all, Bongo Bongo has been a match for every opponent that Bongo Bongo has faced. And that's just absolutely outstanding. So, for me here, Goron, I know that Bongo Bongo doesn't exist, but we've got to count Bongo Bongo as a participant. Thank you very much, Bongo Bongo, for playing, and your record will be set towards the end of all of Boss Battle. So the floor is yours, Kat, with that one.
Yeah, like Bongo Bongo, you will be missed a ton.
Hmm.
Oh, I like this is just my luck that Bongo Bongo's journey in this had to end so soon.
Yeah. Okay. Ready to move on to Goma now?
Yes.
Okay. Goma. So Goma, again, decent counters to Bongo Bongo. Decent stats. And Venom could have been very lethal to another boss. But Goma just didn't have enough to go through the defenses of Bongo Bongo. There was no way that Goma could win.
Yeah, sad as it is true. Like, it was so funny when uh, the randomizer actually brought up this fight, and we actually I talked about it after the video. That this is the one circumstances where Goma's Spine Sense actually has an effect, but it still will not do anything to change the outcome of the fight, sadly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Again, I mean, all I'd have to say, I know I've given the farewell treatment to, well, to Bongo Bongo, but Gomez had some good fights in the past. It might just be Gomez matchups, but I'm hoping to see a few more wins on her side. What are you thinking, Kat?
Yeah, like Goma is like the one boss you like see on compilations and showcases of the game. Yeah, Goma is an early boss in the game, so that makes sense. But Goma is very unique, has many aspects that
Yeah,
only Goma has. Like
yeah.
I would want to see those special abilities to have their moment to shine.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, so that's Goma versus Bongo Bongo, and that is Boss Battle Round 29. Again, this is officially goodbye for me, and well, what do you want to say, Kat?
Timbursveit.